Hi everyone, today I'll be explaining the problem longest substring without repeating characters. So what does that mean? So given an input string like A, B, C, A, B, C, B, B, you need to find a substring without repeating characters. So basically you need to find a unique substring of maximum length. So that's where the longest term comes into picture. So let's go with the example one. So in this case, the unique string seems to be A, B, C, which is of length 3. And this substring seems to be repeated, ABC, which is again of length 3. So the maximum length substring, what we can find in this example is 3. Let's go over the second example. So in this example, the maximum length substring, what you can see is WKE, which is of length 3, or you can consider KEW, which is of again length 3. So again, the output in second example would always be 3. So the logic contains 3 steps, as I mentioned here. So first, check for a new start. So every time you traverse from left to right, you need to check if we have already encountered that character before. If you have already encountered, then that would be a new start. For example, when you traverse from here, P, W and then W. So W is a new start because W has already been traversed before. So that's the first step. So check for the new start. Then update the start variable. The second is update the maximum length. Third is update the location array. Okay, this is an array. So let's go over an example so that you'll understand the logic properly. So here we have taken an array which will store the location of every character in a string. For example, in this string, the characters what we can see is E, K, P and W. So let's initialize the location of every character as -1. So the location of E in the string is -1, same for K, P and W. So that's our initialization. So we take two more variables, start and maximum length. So initially start would be -1 and maximum length would be 0. So what we are initializing is, let's say our start is -1, that is the characters before P which are junk values. In that case maximum length is 0. Okay. Then we start traversing the string from left to right, keeping an I as a pointer. So I will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So as we go forward, we just apply these 3 steps. Okay, when I is equal to 0, the first thing what we need to check is if location of I is greater than start. So we need to check if this is our new start. Okay, so in this case, the location of I is -1 if it is greater than -1. So in this case, it's not. So we don't update our start variable. We go ahead and update the maximum length. So maximum length is maximum length comma I minus start. How did I come up with this formula? So I is nothing but the index at which we are considering that this can be a new start. Okay, and start is the previous start. So the new start minus previous start gives us the length. So in this case it would be max length is 0, comma I is 0 minus of -1. So this is 1. So our maximum length will be 1 and start would be -1 because we didn't update the start. After this, after the second step, we update our location array. What do we update as? So location of the first variable P as I. Okay, so in this case the value of P is 0, so we update this as 0. Okay, let's move forward. So when I is equal to 1, we again apply the same formula. So we check if location of I, which is I is equal to 0, our character is W and W's value is -1. We check if -1 is greater than -1. It's not. So our start, we don't update the start variable. Then we go ahead and check for the maximum length. Maximum length is maximum length of previous one, which is 1, 1. So in this case, it's 1, maximum of 1 comma 2. So in this case, it will be 2, and we update the location of W with I as 1. So in this case, maximum length will be 2, and location of W will be 1. So now, when I is equal to 2, our character is W. So if you can see, W we have already encountered. How do we get to know when we compare this one? So 1 is greater than, the start is -1. So this is true. At that time we update our start variable. Start will be equal to the location of, basically start is equal to location of I. So in this case location of 2, which is W, and that's 1. So we update a start. Then we go ahead and update our maximum length. So maximum length is equal to maximum of the previous maximum is 2 comma I minus start. So I is equal to 2 minus and start is 1. So in this case our maximum will be 2. Okay. So at the end we update the location in the array as well. So location of W is 2. So moving forward, when I is equal to 3, so I is equal to 3, we encounter the variable k. So in this case, first we check is location of I is greater than star. What's the location of I? Location of I is minus 1. So if minus 1 is greater than 1, no. So we don't update our start variable. We go and update our maximum length. So maximum length is equal to, the previous maximum is 2, comma I minus start. I is 3 minus start is 1. So in this case we get just 2. So we don't update our start. Sorry. Then we go ahead and update the location of k, which is equal to I, 3. So then moving forward, I is equal to 4. Value is I is equal to 4. The variable is e. E's value is minus 1. So minus 1 is greater than 1. It's not. So we don't update our start variable. Start variable remains the same. Then we go ahead and calculate the maximum length. So maximum length is, the previous maximum is 2 comma I minus start. So I is 4 minus 1. In this case this is 3, so our maximum turns out to be 3. Okay, 3. And then we need to update our location as well. I's location is 4. Okay, so now if you can see, the maximum length till here is 3. So till here, if you can see, this is our required string, substring. So the length of this is 3. So we got a result. Let's see. So even here we need to get 3, because even this can form one of the answer, and whose length seems to be 3. So when I is equal to 5, the first thing what we need to check is if 2 is greater than our start 1, which is yes, it is greater. So we update our start variable. So start variable is nothing but location of I, which is 2. So we update our start to 2. Then we update our maximum. So maximum is 3 comma I minus start. So I in this case is 5 minus start variable is 2. Again the maximum seems to be 3. After this we update the location of W as well. Location of W is 5. So here you can see the maximum length what we have found is 3. So 3 is the maximum length substring what we can find in this example. So you can go over the same table for this example, and do let me know if you find any difficulty. And if you want me to solve any particular questions, please do let me know in the comments below. And like, share and subscribe, and keep learning every day. Thank you.
Hi everyone. As I've already explained the logic of this problem, so I'll just go over the examples and then start writing the code. So the problem statement is something like this. Given a string, find the length of the longest substring without repeating characters. So this is one of the important problems asked in the Facebook interviews. So the first example is ABC, ABC, BB. So the answer is ABC and the length is 3 because that's the longest substring without any repeating characters. And in example 2, it's just one character B, which is of length 1. And in the third example, we have two outputs, WKE and KEW, but both are of length 3. So we output as 3. Let's dig in the code. So we need a start variable. Initially it will be initialized to -1, and we need something called as maximum length. Initially it's 0. Then we need a vector to store all the locations of all the characters in the string. Let's call this location. And all the locations will be initialized with -1 at the start. Then we start traversing our array. Then we start traversing our string. The first step is we check if the character where we are at is if we have already seen that character, or is this the new start. Okay. it is a new start, then we update our start, then we update our maximum length. And then we update our location vector as well. So after this, we'll have our maximum length stored in the variable max length. Okay, let's go over the code quickly and try to run it. We have start, maximum length, both initialized. Then this is a check. If it is a new start, if yes, update. Then maximum, update the maximum length and update the input vector. Okay, let's run it. Look like it passed for the base case where output expected is 3 and we got our output as 3. Let's submit and see if passes for all the test cases. Looks like it did. As you can see, the runtime is 8 milliseconds and it uses a bit of memory. That's because we have used this vector to store the locations. So this is one of the important questions in Facebook. And if you have any inputs or concerns regarding this solution, please let's discuss that in the comments below. Do like, share the video and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. And until next time, keep learning every day. Bye bye.